what equality is actually being contradicted by what the left is advocating for here. Equality means equal opportunity. It means equal opportunity under the law, equal protection of the law. It means that you are not denied the opportunity to achieve something based on an immutable characteristic, that you do not face institutional legal discrimination based on your gender or your race or your religion or any other immutable characteristic. What equity means, that's what we're seeing right now from the Biden administration is equity. Equity means they want to make sure that every person has equal outcome. Now, what happens? I've said this, I've talked about this many times before, but what happens when you force equal outcome? Well, when you force equal outcome, what happens is you are forced to discriminate against somebody because naturally, people don't end up in the same place. I'm never going to be an NBA star, for example, but it's not because I face institutional gender or racial discrimination. It's simply because I have no talent at basketball. And in this case, I guess, I should say WNBA, but it's not discrimination when someone achieves something to a higher level than you do, or when their resume is more qualified than you are, and therefore they are hired instead of you. No, that's simply reality of how it works in our world. That's the reality of human nature. We all know this. This is something that is objectively true. It's not even a political thing, except the left is trying to make it a political thing. They're trying to force equal outcome instead of protecting equal opportunity. And when you force equal outcome, you are forced to discriminate against someone. So if you are trying to force equal outcome based on characteristics like race or gender, then you are forced to discriminate against other people based on those same characteristics, based on race and gender. So essentially what the left is doing right now, what the K-Hive is advocating for is racial discrimination. They want individuals, it's racial and sexual discrimination actually. They want individuals to be eliminated from consideration based only on the color of their skin and their gender. They don't want other qualified individuals to be considered because of their skin color and their gender. And so what is that called when you refuse to hire someone, not because they're not qualified for a position, but just based on what they look like, just based on the color of their skin, just based on their gender? Well, that's called discrimination. That's called racial discrimination. That's called gender discrimination. And that's exactly what, at this high level, that's what affirmative action is. Affirmative action at this point in our country's history is racial discrimination. It's discrimination against people who might be qualified, who at least deserve the opportunity to apply for and be considered for the position, whether it's in a corporate boardroom, whether it's at a university, in a university admissions process, or whether it is for a seat on the bench of the Supreme Court of the United States of America.